you can hopefully tell, I recently received a touch-up. Shave, haircut, the whole kit and caboodle. The other guys usually call them rough ups, but I had a special exception, being this show to prep for, and as such, they pulled a few strings. I even got Dr. Astor to do my neck. Funny story, actually. He was a professional barber before he got into the lethal injection business. He did a pretty excellent job, if I may say so myself. And I let him know. I have a feeling he doesn't get compliments very often. My producer is in the audience tonight, as some of you may know. Yeah, my producer is here. He's sitting right there. My producer, he's interesting. All right, he's interesting. I like that. All of you know it now that he's here, unless someone here tonight is deaf, in which I have to respect you putting up with an hour and a half's worth of live theater that you can't hear without a translator. I wonder why you do that to yourself. Not that you're really out there. I like keeping a stock of fictional edge case people like that. You know, sometimes real people can be really boring to talk to.
You go first?
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Never done this before. Haven't really seen people other than my guards. Pardon me. Yeah, there's my producer right there. I see you. Not our deaf person. Although sometimes he does his best not to listen when I'm giving him my side of things. We had a fight, he and I, not too long ago. You see, he's from around here, and as part of the deal to help me produce this play, he wanted me to come do this, put on a snippet of it for this festival. I did not want to. My play is a full-length project, and I told him that cutting it would be butchering it. I'd kill it. My very own children. Pardon me. He said it was fine. Promotional, even. And I disagreed. We went back and forth for a while through the prison phones. Me fighting about the script, him trying to talk me into whittling it down, him trying to keep home, me asking if he was controlling with his girlfriend, which he didn't like that control. I probably should. Anyway, he doesn't know I was going to come up here and say this, and it looks like he doesn't want me to, so I'm going to move on. Moving on. Of course, he had me cut out all my more risque stories, as well as trimming my language a bit. I may not look like it, but I'm a pretty crass person, if you get to know me. Also, we agreed for time's sake that I don't get to read any of my poem. My masterpiece in 81 chapters. Even though it would be fun, and I get to do plenty of voices, while different people who show up in it, anyway, that's what theater is like sometimes. Readings, workshops, half productions, somebody taking on a role the day of and having their phone on stage. You know, things like this happen. My experience with theater began while I was still teaching English at Sunset Community College. There was a professor there, Dr. O. Ryan Murdoch, I think. Anyway, some professor who ran the drama program. He made it a point to always invite the English faculty, and we sat together and talked about the shows. There's so much you can feel in live theater that you can't feel just about anywhere else. It's immediate, right in front of your face. Having flesh and blood people acting out a story in the same room as you. There's real power to it. Orion's not around anymore. There was some complications with the local authorities. Something about laughing gas and molten plastic birds. I don't really remember. But he was always an eccentric director. You always knew something would happen to him sometime or another. He was hard to pin down. But that is what we loved about him. At least those of us who avoided being in the audience that day.
Go ahead, finish the ball.
Now, I don't know who that is. Probably some homeless person outside the room. Now, for some of my other friends, I would say I couldn't have gotten here without them, but that would be a lot. Yeah, that would be a lot. I'm not in a very gringo mood today, sorry. I'm not sunshine. Sorry, first thing was bubbles. Anyway, when they heard that I was coming out to do this, on top of already getting to do my whole show, they wanted me to at least mention, sort of carry them with me, secondhand celebrity style. Rob Morgan, my best friend, used to be a literary critic before he got thrown in the slammer. Now we run an inmate book club together. Now, the thing he doesn't really realize is that book club isn't for people who like to read. He just eats through things really quick and always just wants to talk about them. I guess no one ever told him what book clubs were. Vincent Vaughn Gulliver, my first and only prison fighter. He killed his wife. And I didn't like it. So I decided to stand up and do something about it. And I figured, you know, he'd probably get cheered up if I did. So I beat him to a pulp. And he did cheer up in the Inferno. There's Big Mac. Big Mac, my favorite guard. Not really. Mostly I just jab at him and he pretends he isn't listening and then he jabs back during acting checkups, whispering things into myself that, while quite funny, I will reaffirm that I cannot and will not repeat here. And Sam. I had almost forgotten, but oh, I never liked him. His name, first of all, Sam. There's something in it that just annoys me.
I know that's right.
He's in the cell next to me. When we go past for meals, I can hear him making rhythms with his spoons on the bars. He's kind of good, too. Maybe that's part of why I don't like him. We talk music sometimes when we see each other. And I tell him mostly about how he should invest in a harmonica, you know, maybe a little mug that he can go across the bar, just to really buy into the image. He just laughs at that. Oh, well, I'm getting told that my time is up. So that's all for me, but we have a great show for you tonight. Hopefully I didn't steer anyone away from it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of monologues, we got some plays, and we got Julius Caesar. Please, everyone, have a nice night, and I'll see you later.